Joining me now from Washington is roll call columnist John Allen. Hey, John, thank you for joining us. I want to ask you about Donald Trump here. You probably got a bit of a preview that he can expect from Hillary Clinton on the topic of election rigging during tomorrow night's debate. But what's your reaction to the comments that we just heard from President Obama?
It's a little bit of Donald Trump's own medicine. Donald Trump likes to tell opponents, certainly did in the primary, that they weren't manly enough, that they weren't tough enough. He says similar things about Hillary Clinton in terms of her stamina. What you heard here from President Obama was saying that Donald Trump isn't an adult, that he's throwing a tantrum. The word whining is such a strong, evocative word in terms of thinking about children who can't play the game fair or don't like the results.
And it's interesting because Bill O'Reilly used that in an interview, too, about Trump, saying that he needs to stop whining. In an interview last night. We're going to play a bit of that later. But I want to also ask you about that Access Hollywood video, John. 54% of voters say that Trump comments on that video actually reflect how he feels about women today. And now, even after that leaked video, Melania Trump is saying that her husband's comments were actually egged on, that it was nothing more than boy talk, is what she called it. What, first off, was the strategy by getting Melania Trump to sit down for that interview? We hadn't heard from her in so long. And did she make an effective argument for him?
Well, it seems for some awful reason that spouses, wives in particular, are always put in this terrible position of going out and defending their husbands against charges of infidelity or, in this case, sexual assault. Melania Trump did what she could, I think, to try to support her husband. The fact that it took her 11 days suggests she was reluctant to do it, and I'm not sure that she helped him much because some of the things she said were I think, pretty offensive to a lot of Americans. Talking about boy talk and saying she has 2 boys at home. I don't know a lot of parents that want their children, their young sons, talking about women that way.
I want to ask you if it's unrealistic at this point to think that Donald Trump can close that 9-point gap in just 3 weeks left in this election.
Yeah, I think it would take a biblical-style flood for him to win the election at this point. You basically have to have voters all over the country unable to go to the polls.
Let's take a look at the battleground map that we have here. We're looking particularly in Nevada. Really amazed, this new poll that came out. Hillary Clinton has retaken her lead. This is a Monmouth University poll. It has her 47 with Trump at 40%. And we're seeing reports that the Clinton camp's making a big push here to get a historically red state in the blue category. What do you make of this? And does the Clinton camp really have a shot here?
I think the Clinton camp has a shot at a bunch of western states, including Nevada, as you point out, and Arizona. If she wins Arizona, you're talking about an electoral blowout.
An electoral blowout.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona is a state that nobody who's a Democrat not named Clinton has won in recent memory, as we've talked about before. And, it's close, and I think there's an opportunity there for Democrats. But I certainly wouldn't chalk it up in their column yet. If she wins Arizona, it means she's won most of the other battlegrounds.
John, there's some buzz that ticket splitting, which is you vote for one party for the top of the ticket and a different party for the next, could be at record levels this go round. The fact that you're seeing the Clinton camp investing so much money in states like Nevada, Utah, what do you think that means when it comes to House and Senate races? Where do we see that turning?
I think there are a few things going on here with the expansion of the map, as they call it. They put a couple $1 million into a race in Arizona. They put some money into Indiana and Missouri, put some attention into Utah and even Texas. And what they're doing is, number one, signaling to the media and to voters that they believe that they've got 270 electoral votes, what she needs to win, essentially locked down, and they're looking to do more at this point. I think they're also trying to tell Democrats in Congress that they're there for them. The Democrats in Congress in Washington have been very upset at the Clinton campaign's tack in terms of trying to separate Donald Trump from other Republicans and trying to show that he's not a normal Republican. That hurts congressional Democrats who would like to tie their Republican opponents to Donald Trump. And so one of these things, when you look at money going into especially Indiana, Missouri, and Arizona, is an effort to help those Senate candidates on the Democratic side in those states. So there are a couple things going on here, and maybe a few others as well.
Before you go, you rocking the Movember look today?
I am. My wife doesn't like it. It's coming off right after this interview. It was my playoff beard for the Washington Nationals. They lost last week, and I tried to keep it around for a while.
I had to ask. I knew there was something there.
Yeah, it sounds like you and my wife are on the same wavelength on the beard.
John, I did not say that. I like it. Roll call columnist John Allen. Thank you for joining us, John.
Take care, Rena.